Hi there, Michelle here from Shell McQuaid TV. We're helping you find ways to move from functioning to flourishing by putting the latest science to the real world test. Today, I'm very pleased to introduce you to one of my fellow Masters of Applied Positive Psychology classmates, Jeremy McCarthy. Jeremy is the Group Director of Spa for Mandarin Oriental Hotel Group, leading their internationally acclaimed luxury spa division, featuring 44 world-class spa projects open or under development worldwide. Now that's a job I'd like. He has over 20 years' experience operating luxury spas in resort and hotel properties. Jeremy also teaches courses in the online certification program in spa and hospitality management through the University of California. One in particular I'm fascinated by on positive leadership. He's the author of The Psychology of Spas and Wellbeing and hosts a blog about holistic wellbeing at psychologyofwellbeing.com. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Jeremy, I'm fascinated. What does the business of running a spa day in, day out really have to do with positive psychology?
Well, I see positive psychology is about, kind of as opposed to the typical illness model of looking at what goes wrong with people. Positive psychology is kind of looking at people who are already doing well and how can they do even better? How can they thrive or flourish? And that's really what we try to do in our spas. Unlike other healing institutions in our society, a spa doesn't wait for people to be sick or ill or broken before they can come in. Spas are really treating people every day that are doing perfectly well, but everybody wants to be doing a little bit better and wants to feel better. And so that's what the spa experience is all about. And I also think the psychology aspect is that when people come to a spa, it's not just about feeling better physically. It's really about coming in, having time and space to clear your mind, recharge your batteries from a mental perspective. So spas are really giving people a place to be refreshed mentally, not only physically.
I think that restoration piece adds such a deeper element to just going for a massage or a spa treatment. But how do you teach people to be positive leaders? I know you've been running this amazing online course around positive leadership, particularly in organizations. So what exactly is a positive leader?
Well, I think, most of us, just by default, it's human nature to kind of want to look out for the biggest problems that we're having and fix our weaknesses and try and tackle the biggest obstacles that we have in front of us. And so most organizations focus on that kind of deficit-based approach to management. What I teach in my course is more of a positive leadership approach where instead of trying to figure out what are the things that need to be fixed in an organization and how do you overcome your biggest obstacles or your greatest weaknesses, is how do you spend a little bit more time and energy appreciating the positive side of the equation, really focusing on what works in an organization and how do we do more of what works well. How do we leverage the strengths that we have within our organization and get those strengths working together well? How do we create a strong culture or a strong brand, cultivate a sense of meaning and purpose at work? And really, how do we accomplish great things? Because I think everybody comes into work wanting to do something great. You want to be proud of what you accomplish. And I think there's a lot we can learn from positive psychology and other goal strategies that people can draw from to really pursue those accomplishments in a way where they can really get results.
So some of that sounds a little like a philosophy that we take to the kind of leader we want to be, but what might those leaders who've been in your course try to do practically day to day as they go about their role in management, for example?
Sure. A typical example is just the way that you interact with your employees at work. So, I think a lot of times when you're in a leadership position or you're in a meeting with your team, a very common approach would be to kind of go around the room and figure out what are the biggest problems that everybody is facing. And, I want to report on how you're fixing this problem and how you're going to solve that problem. As opposed to really taking some time to celebrate successes, for example. Let's talk about what went well this week, and let's kind of savor that and appreciate the accomplishments that we've had, and let's figure out what we can learn from what we did well, and how we can repeat more of that in the future. Or instead of only showcasing the examples where your customers weren't happy and trying to fix those problems and solve those problems, look at examples of customers that are really responding well to what you're doing and trying to identify and understand, what is it about, what did we do with that customer that really won them over and made them happy, so that we can duplicate that with other customers in the business. And these are, it's kind of common sense, but it's not our nature to do some of these things.